The wedding was supposed to be simple. At least, that was what Jason Carter had told me 3 weeks earlier. No drama, he had said. No surprises. Just good food, good music, and one day where nobody in our family argues. I had laughed. Then you probably shouldn't invite your family. He had smiled and pushed my shoulder. That's why you're my best friend. Daniel, I had known Jason since college. We had shared cheap apartments, bad jobs, broken relationships, and more late-night conversations than either of us could count. So when he asked me to stand beside him at his wedding, I never questioned it. I showed up early that Saturday afternoon. The venue was an old country estate outside the city. White chairs filled the lawn. Small lights hung from the trees. A soft summer wind moved through the leaves, carrying the smell of flowers and fresh grass. Everything looked peaceful, almost too peaceful. I was standing near the bar, fixing my tie for the 5th time, when I saw her, Emily Carter, Jason's younger sister. I had known Emily for years, but never closely. She was the quiet one in the family. Jason was loud. Their mother, Linda, could talk for an hour without taking a breath. Their father, Robert, had a habit of giving advice nobody asked for. Emily was different. She usually stayed near the edge of the room, listening more than speaking. That afternoon, she wore a simple blue dress. Her dark hair fell loosely over one shoulder. She looked nervous. At first, I thought she was nervous because of the wedding. Then she looked directly at me and quickly looked away. I went back to my conversation with another groomsman. The ceremony began at 4. Jason stood beneath the white arch, smiling like a man who had finally reached the finish line. His bride, Sarah, walked down the aisle. Everyone stood. Everyone smiled. I watched Jason's face change when he saw her. It was genuine happiness. For a moment, I forgot about everything else. After the ceremony, people moved toward the reception hall. I was helping carry a few gifts inside when I felt someone touch my arm. I turned. Emily, Daniel, she said quietly. Hey, you okay? She nodded. Then she looked behind her. Nobody seemed to be watching. Can you come with me? There was something in her voice that made me put the gifts down. Sure. She walked toward a quiet hallway beside the kitchen. I followed. The music from the reception became softer. Behind us, Emily stopped near a large window. For a few seconds, she said nothing. Then she looked at me. Her eyes were nervous, almost frightened. What's going on? I asked. She took a slow breath. Do you remember what you told me last Christmas? I frowned. About what? You said that if I ever felt like I was making a decision because everyone else wanted it, I should stop and ask myself what I wanted. I remembered. Emily had been considering moving across the country for a job she didn't want. I had told her that life was too short to keep choosing things just to make other people comfortable. I remember. She looked down at her hands. I didn't listen. There was a long silence. Emily, what's wrong? She looked toward the reception hall, then back at me. My parents think I'm getting married next month. I blinked. What? She gave a small, tired laugh. Not officially, but they already picked a date. They already told relatives. They even started looking at venues. I stared at her. Who are you supposed to marry? She swallowed. Michael. I knew the name. Michael was a family friend. I had met him twice. He was polite, confident, and completely wrong for Emily. Do you want to marry him? Emily didn't answer. That was answer enough. Before I could say anything, she stepped closer. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Daniel. She looked straight into my eyes. Catch me before someone else does. The words stopped me cold. For a moment, I didn't know what she meant. Then I understood. She wasn't asking me to run away with her. She wasn't asking me to become some secret escape from her family. She was asking me to stop her from making the same mistake again. Emily, I said softly. You don't need me to catch you. Her eyes filled with tears. No. You need to catch yourself. She looked away. I was hoping you'd say that. We stood there, quietly. The music from the ballroom drifted through the hallway. Someone laughed loudly, glasses clinked. The wedding continued as if nothing had happened. Then, Emily said something I wasn't expecting. "I've loved you for a long time." My heart seemed to pause. She immediately shook her head. "Not like in some movie. I mean, I loved the way you treated people, the way you listened, the way you never made me feel stupid for being scared." I didn't know what to say. She smiled sadly. "But I never thought you felt the same." I looked at her. The truth was, I had thought about Emily more than I admitted, not constantly, not dramatically, just quietly. I noticed when she entered a room. I remembered the little things she said. I cared when she wasn't happy. Maybe I had been afraid to name it. Because she was Jason's sister. Because some doors felt too dangerous to open. "I thought you were just Jason's little sister," I said. Emily smiled through her tears. "And now," I took a breath, "now I'm realizing I never really saw you as just anything." Her smile disappeared. Not because she was sad, because she was trying not to cry. "I don't want you to choose me because you're afraid I'll marry Michael," she said. "I won't. I don't want you to rescue me. I won't." "Then what do you want?" I looked toward the ballroom. Jason was laughing with his new wife. His parents were taking pictures. Everything looked perfect. But behind one quiet hallway, someone was finally telling the truth. "I want you to choose your own life," I said. "And if that life happens to include me, then I'll be there." Emily closed her eyes for a moment. Then she nodded. "That's all I wanted." We returned to the reception separately. Nobody noticed. Or at least, nobody said anything. Dinner passed. The speeches began. Jason stood and thanked everyone for coming. Then he looked at me. "My best friend has been with me through everything," he said. "And honestly, I wouldn't be standing here without him." Everyone clapped. I smiled. Then Jason added, "And Emily, stop hiding in corners. Come up here." The room laughed. Emily looked at me from across the table. For the first time that day, she looked calm. She stood and joined her brother, Jason, hugged her. I watched them together and realized something. Some moments don't change your life loudly. They don't come with music or dramatic speeches. Sometimes they happen in a quiet hallway while a wedding is happening. On the other side of a wall, 2 weeks later, Emily turned down Michael. There was an argument. There were tears. Linda stopped speaking to her for several days. Robert told her she was throwing away a perfect opportunity. Emily didn't change her mind. She found a small apartment. She accepted a job she actually wanted, and for the first time in years, she started making decisions without asking everyone else if they approved. Jason found out about us a month later. He stared at me across his kitchen table. "You and Emily?" I nodded. He rubbed his forehead. "I should be angry." "I understand." He looked toward his sister, who was laughing in the next room. Then he looked back at me. "Are you serious about her?" "Yes." He was quiet. Finally, he smiled. "Then don't hurt her." "I won't." He pointed at me. "And if you do, remember I know where you live." I laughed. He laughed too. And just like that, the tension disappeared. Emily and I didn't rush anything. There was no dramatic proposal, no secret wedding, no perfect ending. Overnight, we simply spent time together. Coffee on Sunday mornings, long walks after work, quiet conversations in the car. Slowly, we built something real. 6 months after Jason's wedding, Emily and I returned to the same country estate. There was no wedding this time, just a small family dinner. We stood beneath the same trees where Jason had married Sarah. Emily looked at me. "Do you remember what I said that night?" I smiled. "How could I forget?" She laughed softly. I was terrified. "So was I really?" "Absolutely." She slipped her hand into mine. "I'm glad you caught me." I squeezed her hand. "I didn't catch you." She looked at me. "You caught yourself." She smiled. Then she leaned against my shoulder, and I understood the real meaning behind her words that night. She hadn't been asking me to save her, she had been asking me to remind her that she was allowed to save herself. Sometimes love isn't about running towards someone, sometimes it's about standing still long enough for them to find their way. And when they finally do, you simply hold out your hand.